Hello, welcome ASL community, but today we're going to do turn taking. We have some questions for you from Ron Stevens, and we would like to discuss the point of the project. So on the video some signing, and then we're going to edit it out, and I thought maybe we can match with your geeking out possibilities and we can analyze the ASL. How exciting is that? Well, that's fine. So here we are. Let's go ahead and move on with the video. This is my vlog with Austin Andrews. Hello, Ron. So we're going to be discussing ASL and turn taking. And there's two different avenues that you can do. You can do the conversational way or you can do the interpreting way. Have you noticed the time? So if, for example, if I'm signing and then I'll stop and then the other person can go. And it's the ASL prosody. Meaning when you start, you have this prosody within your facial expressions, when you squinting your eyes, your facial, and they'll do it in sections. And when you all together, it helps show the language, the prosody of the language. So we have the ASL movement as well. And we'll focus on two different ways. Before we discuss those two, first I would like to explain with any conversation, either or interpreting, we have two segments. Maybe even up to 5. But to be clear, we're going to do 2 segments. And I'm going to be discussing both perspectives as well. But first, we're going to focus in on the person not signing. What happens when they're watching? Do you see how they're focused in on we're just doing their perspective. And then second, we'll discuss the person signing their perspective. So the person we're going to be focused on, they're not signing, but they're actively listening. And how do they know that they have the prosody? Through their eye gaze as they're looking at them. And they're connecting. They're not moving around. They're not doing anything else. They're focused on that person as they're signing. And they're not leaving anything out. They're actively involved with their eye gaze as with the story that's being shared. And they can ask questions then, and it's more clear. And they'll be able to give them their opinion. Something, and it's along with the eyes gaze, that allows the signer to know that they're engaged with the conversation. And on the second, so now we're going to be focusing on the person that's actively signing. And they can follow their hand place positions. For example, if they're signing, and I notice that the person listening and the hands are down, they're about to come up, that means they have something to say. And they're wanting to talk as well. And they're waiting for the opportunity to jump in and talk. But if they don't want to, they might just do the head nod. Their hands will be down. And it's just, they'll bring up their hands up for a short time. And that tells the signer that they're not wanting to jump in and discuss their opinion. But if they hold up their hands continually, waiting for a time to jump in, the signer will notice that, and that they're wanting their turn to add their thoughts in. And also with the eye gaze, and second with the hand position. Whether it's up high or down low. And since we just discussed conversation style, how do you apply that into interpreting? Well, you'll know. Since most interpreters have a tendency of knowing turn taking, at least in interpreting, they'll hear and then switch it over here to English and switch it over to ASL. If I'm the interpreter, I'm hearing something and signing, I don't have time to go back and forth as I'm interpreting it, and will mess up the message. So I'm giving them the information to the deaf consumer, and the presenter then is not ready for them to be having a turn. And the same with eye contact. They'll be swinging back and forth looking at the audience. And they'll be the same with the signer. And their eye gaze won't be ready for the person to be able to go back and forth. Now with your hands, if they're up and they're ready, continue up, the hearing person might go, and as the interpreter, you don't want to drop your hands and say, because the deaf will see that and now it's my turn to speak, and they don't want that. For a hearing person, as they're you might sign and then rub your hands together. Keep your hands up so the deaf will know that it's not their turn to express their opinions. If the deaf eye contact moves around to the presenter, and then allows the person to then start talking again. Then it's important to let the hearing person know when it's ready to let them talk and have their turn as well. So then we have the English porosity. We're doing ASL porosity. Anyhow, the point is, signing with ASL porosity, you'll notice the different times of turn taking. When it's mine, when it's yours, when you can go back to, when it's going through the eye gaze, back and forth, and the position of hands. If they're up, that means continue down. When they continue signing, if they're up, then if they're down, they continue signing. So if you go to my blog, you can post different things. You have new emails. You can let me know about different things. So it's www. You can subscribe, and then you can also post things on my vlog too and connect them over. Once again, my name is Austin Andrews.